Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Watcher of Realms video. In today's video, I want to show you something fun, and that is the team that I use to beat Artifact Material Raid 18, aka AMR 18. The reason why I want to show you this today is because, well, there's a Mystery of Artifacts Oracle trial that has just started, so what better time than this one? And I want to say from the beginning that, you know, there's different tactics out there and whatnot, and honestly, I think this was one of the ones where I didn't really watch too many videos on, because, well, the first stop where most people get blocked are around stage 13, then maybe a little bit earlier, and then later it just starts changing, because if you have a look at this, like, the map starts being different from 12, where you have 2 platforms. You get to 13 where you only have 1 platform, and therefore it makes it harder to have, you know, a platform DPS and a healer, or just, you know, 2 DPS and whatnot. So this is where it starts changing, but the higher you get, the harder it is, obviously, because of the damage that the boss will do. And honestly, the way that I want to say this is same as my wife, OddOneGaming, mentions. This is basically a fighter check. Do you have enough fighters? Do you have good enough fighters to be able to deal with this? And that's going to be the case of you doing it or not. The big difference, though, from 17 to 18 is the boss hits so much harder that if you don't have, I think it's over 40,000 HP on your fighter, they're going to get one shot. However, there are some ways you can deal with that, and that is, you know, getting some damage mitigation, some shields, and stuff like that. And another reason why it's so important to get to 18 instead of 17 is because, well, from 18 you stop getting the Radiant Meteorite and you only get Flawless Meteorite, which obviously has a higher chance of dropping mythic artifacts when you forge, and you also get more mithril. Okay, from 6-7 you go to 6-8. So I turned off the Power of Dominance, and I guess let's get into it. Let me just, where should I put myself? I guess let me leave myself over there, maybe make myself a little bit smaller, and I hope I can replicate, honestly, what I was doing. But the whole idea behind the team that I'm using is I will have one strong tank that's going to stay in the middle between everybody else. Let me make sure I still have gear on her, but the main tank is going to be Isolde, okay, for this team. And the reason why I'm using her is because of her passive that allows me to not have to rebuild all my fighters to have a lot of HP, and that passive says that she periodically grants a shield equal to 39% of her max HP to herself and her adjacent ally. So basically the 2 people that are going to be on her side, and the shield strength is increased by each time her block increases by 1. But obviously this is just going to be a shield from her, and that's all you're going to use. Plus the ultimate can be helpful because it grants, again, physical damage reduction, magic damage reduction to her, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 allies around her, for every ally in range. So again, her and the people around, which is going to be helpful. So that's why I'm using her, and I guess if you don't have her, you can use somebody like a Regulus who does something similar. So anybody that brings some extra protection, not just to herself, but to people around. So let's go into the run, and let me see again. I just did this weekend, so I hope I can replicate it, but the way that I start is straight up. I place my Zillitu first over here. This can be, obviously, you're gonna have your 4 best fighters to be over here, okay? After I do this, I wait for the boss to cross that line, okay? So once he crosses the line with one of the legs, that means I can place the other ones. Okay, let me restart because I screwed it up. But basically, if you place the tank at the right time, you're gonna allow some other fighters on the side, on the higher ones, to still attack him. That's what your goal should be. Trying to get the boss in such a position where you're gonna be able to attack him with 4 fighters. And there we go. He landed over there. Then the next one is gonna be straight up the healer. Okay, pop Zillitu. I pop her straight up to try and do as much damage as possible. Then as soon as I'm available, I'm gonna put Arrogance as well, and you're gonna see right now, I think, before the boss does the ultimate, Isolde will proc that passive, and you're gonna see the shields on everybody. Let me just show you, and see, that's the shield. So the boss does the smacks, but my people still survive. After that happens, I start putting everybody else. I put Wrath on the right side. I still don't use her I still don't use her ultimate yet. What's his name? Vortex keeps healing, keeps us alive. Then the next one that I will be placing is going to actually be Volca, okay? The reason why I'm using Volca in this team is one, she grants healing to everybody when she's placed. Every time they do basic attack, they heal a bit. But at the same time, on her ultimate, she brings a physical and magical damage reduction. Now, when the boss is gonna do his next smack, I'm gonna pop Vortex so everybody gets some shields, because otherwise everybody's going to die. You see that happens. I do the shields, I do that, then I place over here at the top my Deimos, again, whichever fighter have to be able to deal with those ones. And then as soon as those healing happen from Vortex, as soon as everybody's fine, one more heal, there we go. I remove Vortex and then I place my Silas in there, and then as soon as I have enough cost, I'm gonna place somebody at top. So I'm gonna pop Zillitu. Okay, I'm just waiting for this to happen. Then I'm putting Falsi over here, and as soon as he has the ultimate, I pop, what's her name, Volca first. Okay, Volca goes, and then I pop my Silas. So basically, whoever's gonna be your best DPS in there. I also pop Isolde, and as soon as Isolde dies, I'm just gonna put in that spot where Isolde is, I'm gonna put Baron. But you can see that the damage is going so much because of those reductions. Just helps us survive. See, okay, so she didn't quite die, but as soon as she dies, boom, I pop Baron in there, so he still stays in the same spot, and I kill him. So this is kind of, like I said, a combination of having a healer, having strong enough fighters, but having that DPS in there at the end just to help take the boss down, because that's the problem. The more portals that spawn, the harder it's going to be for you to kill him. So let me just try and do that again and just show exactly how it goes. Again, same principle. First fighter goes in there. As soon as the boss comes to the right point, I place my Isolde first. Okay, let's see. Can he get his leg over the... Okay, he did that. Vortex goes in there. I pop Zillitu because I want those burns to go on so we can do as much damage as possible. And yeah, it's a pretty fun one. I'm always happy when I can find some, you know, a little bit, I guess, of a different way of dealing with it. Because most of the time there's those standard ways, okay? You have the standard ways of, do you have enough, you know, do you have strong enough, what's it called? Do you have strong enough fighters? Do you have enough survivability for them and whatnot? So this is a little bit of combination of all of that, because my gear isn't as crazy, okay? My gear is not that crazy. So because of that, what I had to do is I had to try and find a way of actually dealing with it in a sense of like I cannot do enough damage, but by just dropping that healer from here at the right time, okay? So I just drop him before we get to this point. Like, see, I'm still half health through there, okay? And then, okay, as soon as everybody's fully healed, I just remove him. I place Silas in there. I keep going again. I can pop Zillitu again. As soon as I get to that one, place Falsia, make sure, because if those ones start grouping together, that's gonna be a problem. Then I pop everybody, okay, pop her. Okay, that was a bad example. See, she died, my Isolde died, so that means it did not work perfectly. I would just have to run it again up until it, you know, I get the right RNG, the Isolde survives enough, or maybe I have enough cost so that I can place Baron in there. But you know, most of the times when you do this one, you only need to do it once, okay? You need to get the good RNG to do it once, and then you are good to go. Because after that, you're gonna have the power of dominance that you can enable, and it's gonna be just easy. But now let's have a look at the builds. So basically, Isolde is as much HP as I could. I also gave her the Guardian set, which means she's gonna take 15% less damage. You see HP percent, HP percent, HP percent. And then I do have a Life Force set on her. Again, that gives her more HP. That's the weapon. That's the chest, the breastplate, and then artifact. I just have Watch God's Unity. It's more max HP, so I don't have crazy artifacts on people. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Then my Vortex, just standard with HP, attack speed, and some healing effect. Not too much. Basically, just to give him enough healing. And he's running the Radiant Lantern again. Not the craziest artifact, whatever I have, because I still need to get better ones. Then let's see, who should I look at? Baron I didn't even get the chance to use, but Baron is basically my leftover HP percent gear, because he just needs to take a few hits at the end just to keep the boss busy. But he also has the passive that procs Unyielding, so you know, if he's gonna get to die, he still can survive. And then let's start looking at our fighters. So first one, I have Zillitu. Zillitu is built in a Doom set because she also all has single target damage, and then she is in a Calamity set. Okay, crit rate on this one, crit damage on this one, attack bonus on this one, and then over here again crit rate, attack bonus, and attack bonus. So you can see I don't have the perfect pieces. Okay, there's obviously a lot more I could improve. This is just a work in progress, and I do have Keen Wisdom on him, the maxed out artifact, which gives him a bit more attack. More attack. That's gonna help out. Then I have my Arrogance, which has, again, he is gonna be, if the game allows me, he's gonna be in a crit damage set if I remember correctly. Yep. So he's in the Annihilating Might set over here on this side. You see crit rate, attack bonus, and then again attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage. And then on this side, just broken pieces. I did not have good enough gear to make a full set, but he's running crit damage on the bangle, attack bonus on the amulet, and then it's attack bonus again on the ring. So that allows me to have, you know, the right stats, good enough damage. Then when it comes to artifact, I have Flux Pendant on him, just to give him a bit more crit damage. Again, wish I had better ones, but this is what I have, and that's what I'm playing with. Then I have my trusty Wrath, which, you know what, everybody gets 2 copies of Wrath, so if you get stones, he's definitely one of the ones that's worth getting to A5, because he's really good, and the A5 gives him a little bit of lifesteal, okay? He recharges some of the life, but it's not necessarily mandatory for this one, because if the boss one-shots you, then that's it. We already have the lifesteal from Volca and that team. And when it comes to him, I do have him in a Calamity set. Again, see, not the perfect pieces, some crit rate, some attack. Again, only attack bonus benefits him in here, and a little bit of flat attack, no crit and no crit damage. And then on this side, no set, just crit damage on the bangle, attack bonus on the amulet, and then this one's actually a good piece. And then on the ring, attack bonus with some attack speed, crit rate, and some rage regen. And then when it comes to the artifact, he has Eye of the Sin, which obviously is going to give him more AoE damage, but this one, I guess it does give him more damage, but it's only one single target, so he's not going to do much of the AoE because he's not on the bottom side where he would have to turn around to hit the minions. However, if you didn't have somebody like I have Arrogance that, you know, I placed on the bottom, you can place Wrath because it's going to make it easier for him to kill the minions that come from the side than having a single target fighter, okay? Keep that in mind. Then who's the next one? The next one, I guess let's look at Volca. So the way that I have Volca built is I basically stole the best gear. I mean, not the best gear on my account, because that one's on I think it's on Silas, but I just swapped the gear because we have this cool feature now with swapping gear. I just swapped the gear with my where is she, with my Vierna. Okay, I just swapped the gear with my Vierna, and basically she's running with, again, Calamity set, crit rate, attack bonus, crit rate, and then broken pieces, crit rate on the bangle, then attack bonus on the amulet. Again, you don't see everything perfect, all purple, and then crit damage on the ring. That's Volca. The one thing that I don't think actually it matters, but, you know, A1 helps you with the revival time. I don't think it matters. A2 gives her a bit more attack. So even if you have her not awakened, even if she's just base level, she should be just fine, because you saw there was no despawning and repositioning people in this fight. So it doesn't matter if you have her awakened or not, Volca should still do the job. And then she has the Northern Sword, which, well, she's not going to benefit from it because we're not going to have the shield. It's just a few extra stats, and it is what it is. Then who else? I guess Demos doesn't really matter. He just needs to have a little bit of damage in there. It can be any other fighter that you place on the left side, like I showed, just to keep, you know, to keep those minions busy and just kill them, so they don't start grouping up and then start coming towards your people, because if they start coming towards the middle, as they group up, they're going to one-shot whoever's going to be there. So it's like, you know, whatever stats on him, he doesn't have to be as strong, because even my Falcia, as I'm going to show you, that's level 50, still did the job of that Demos did, and on the right hand side. And again, not, look at this, I even have legendary gear on her. This one's only 12, this one's only 12, so you can see what I mean. You don't need the craziest gear. Only on the ones in the middle you want to have the best gear that you possibly can, so that you can deal with it. She has this amulet of arteries, which is basically, it kind of sounds like it's Celine's specific artifact, but it works on her. The reason for that is her damage is actually magic type. Even though it says normal over here, if you look on her basic attack, deals normal damage and magic damage, okay? So she deals a little bit of both, which means that this artifact can benefit her, but in this case, she's not MVP, she's not that mandatory. And then I think the last one that I did not show is actually the MVP in a sense, like that brings us some craziness at the end, and that's Silas. But again, Silas doesn't have to be him. It can be your best single target DPS. If you have a Setrum, you can bring Setrum instead, or anybody else that is on a platform that can do some crazy damage. So Silas is in an Annihilating Might set. He's gonna have some good stats: attack, crit rate, attack speed. Again, attack bonus, crit rate, but these two doesn't benefit him. Crit rate on the bangle again with some crit damage and attack. Attack bonus with crit damage, crit rate on the amulet. And then we have the ring with attack bonus, crit damage, flat attack, and crit rate again. Not the perfect ones, but works just fine. And then on artifact, I have Idril's Gaze on him that gives him a chance to ignore defense and magic resistance. So, you know, this is the Silas build. This was the team. I hope you liked it. I hope it gave you some ideas that you can of how you can do this fight, because like I said, at the end of the day, this is basically like I mentioned at the beginning, and like Ivy told me, this is basically a fighter check. Do you have enough fighters to be able to deal with this fight, to be able to kill the boss, to keep him busy, and keep the side ones busy? Basically, what you're trying to do at the end of the day is you're trying to do as much damage so you can kill it as fast as possible, because the more time passes, the more minions come from the side, and the harder it's going to be for you to deal with it, because you're eventually just gonna get overwhelmed, okay? And if that happens, if some people pass, either your fighters are gonna get killed, or if there's like, you know, the fighters can only block 2 people. So if you have more than 2 minions that come from the sides and you don't have anybody to block them, they're gonna get to the boss, which means it's gonna heal the boss and he's gonna gain more attacks. So you definitely don't want to do that. So again, you want your best tank to be in the middle, preferably somebody like an Isolde or a Regulus that can bring some extra protection for people around. I think Regulus would just be better because I think he has a wider range where he can give a shield and protection to everybody. But you know, I have that pick Isolde, so that's what I'm using. And then your strongest possible fighters on this side, but I would especially say, again, emphasize on this one, you really want to have Volca in there, because what Volca brings is extremely important, and that's those vulnerabilities, okay? That's what allows me to kill it, because you saw, by the time I put Silas, the boss still has like 60% HP or 50% HP, a lot, so you barely kill it. But if you have, like I said, when she pops her ultimate, she inflicts vulnerability to physical damage and vulnerability to magic damage, 20%. So that allows you to do some crazy damage with Silas, with my Zillitu, and with everybody else. You're gonna just pump out that damage a lot more. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna leave it at this for now. Thank you all for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. If you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I post next, and I guess I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.